Hi everyone, on the table today we've got a few other things other than my normal watercolours, and these are from the box of pens and pencil crayons that I have in my studio that I only ever get out when my young nieces come to stay and we like to do some craft. I never think to get them out otherwise, and recently I've been thinking so much about joy in art. I feel so good every time I paint, but I'm always painting commissions, I'm painting tutorials for you guys, and I thought, well, to be honest, I think we could all take a leaf out of my niece's book, or the general sort of childish approach to art, and remember the joy in it, and to focus on playing around with what you've got and not necessarily needing to like buy lots of expensive kit and things like that. So today on the quick fix, I would love to encourage you to look in your craft cupboard or in your kids' craft rooms, in their art supplies and things if they've got any, and see what's knocking around and see what you never normally would consider sort of proper art supplies. And we are going to play around and explore and have fun. So what I'm just doing is I'm picking up blues and yellows, because purple and yellow are sort of complementary colours, and then orange and blue are complementary colours too. So I'm going to paint in a sort of wash and just sort of mess around with shapes with my brush has even got some blue still left on it, so that's fine. I'm using my big sort of one stroke, one wash brush, and we're just going to create a nice sort of abstract watercolour palette. And I'll get my other large brush. I just want to make shapes on the page. So for the quick fix this week, it's all about, especially if you're new to watercolour or new to my channel, it's why we watercolour. Why do we watercolour? Well, we do it to feel good, and feeling good might mean you've sort of mastered a beautiful, accurate flower painting from one of my other tutorials, or mastering it might have been you've just painted pages and pages of robins, the little loose watercolour robins from my Christmas tutorials, and it just doesn't matter really. But what I do want everybody to think about is the process rather than the end result, because just doing that felt really good, and I didn't really think about what I wanted. I just thought, I'm just going to fill up the page and I'm not going to overwork it, and I'm actually really pleased with that. So I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to get my pens and pencils and have a little scribble and have some fun. And now, honestly, it's anyone's guess. I have never ever used pencil crayons on watercolour before, but I want to sort of build up textures so I encourage you to just do the same. I know a lot of people go, oh, but if you literally have no artistic instinct, this is like a worst nightmare. And I agree that I guess I have some artistic instinct, even though right now it doesn't really feel like it. I would say, if that's how you feel, remember that I paint every day, and you don't see an awful lot of the things that I chuck away that are pretty rubbish, or rubbish to me in that moment. But it's my job on here to present to you my best possible inspiration work. So I'm going for it. And I just suggest that if you want to like follow along and copy quite closely, that's absolutely fine for your first go. But then my hope is that it gives you confidence to then have another go a bit further down the line and maybe you'll do it without a prompt, without a guide, and at some point you'll feel really empowered to have just sat down and put pen, crayon, brush to paper and not worried about the outcome and focused more on how it made you feel. Think about colouring books. It's a bit like that. It's very much about the process of colouring, isn't it? And at the moment all I'm doing is colouring. There isn't a sort of conventional line drawing that I'm colouring around. But I am pretty much just putting colour on a page. So you can see it just, a lot of it just turned into scribbles, which is totally cool. Now I've got some like thicker pens, and I'm just going to draw in some nice leaves. So what's quite cool is it's making me think, okay, I quite like doing this, but maybe I'd quite like to get some pens that maybe got like a slightly finer nib, so I can do more with this next time. I also, chose a colour palette that featured complementary colours, so I think that also helps sort of actually give a slight sense of control to the seeming randomness of it all. But you know what's so nice is just sort of scribbling down pens and just making a bit of a mess. And just seeing how the colours all work together or not together. My attempt just seeing if I could sort of create a bit of a brush effect with those, but all I know is I feel so much better now than when I began. So if you're feeling a little bit blue, it's January, or you may be watching this another time in the year, why not pick up the pens, the paints, the crayons, things that you might not have used for a very long time, and just have a go at playing. And you never know. Also, I've just discovered I've got a pencil crayon that used to belong to my sister when we were little. How cute is that? I don't think any of the others will, but that is a lovely little discovery. So yeah, Anna, this one's for you. She's my big sister. Thanks so much for watching this quick fix, and I'll see you again next time.